USAID power, deception, and the pursuit of wealth. Niccolò Machiavelli, the master of political realism, would have understood USAID not as a benevolent force but as a strategic instrument of power, a tool wielded by elites to further their dominance while maintaining the illusion of humanitarian goodwill. The true purpose of foreign aid is rarely altruistic. Rather, it is a carefully crafted mechanism designed to expand influence, control wealth, and manipulate global affairs under the guise of development. The facade of altruism. USAID, on paper, serves as the humanitarian arm of the U.S. government, a beacon of democracy and economic development for struggling nations. However, in a Machiavellian sense, this is nothing more than a well-constructed ruse, a facade that conceals the agency's true objectives. A nation, Machiavelli would argue, does not act out of charity but out of necessity and ambition. To maintain its hegemony, the United States does not simply give aid, it invests aid, ensuring that the returns serve its strategic interests. The first deception lies in the very name. The United States Agency for International Development. This title evokes an image of philanthropy, yet history has shown that such institutions often function as conduits for financial and political manipulation. The billions funneled through USAID do not simply alleviate suffering. They buy influence, secure alliances, and ensure that foreign leaders remain indebted, literally and figuratively, to American interests. A tool for covert operations. If one were to follow Machiavelli's principle that rulers must sometimes engage in deception to maintain power, then USAID stands as an exemplary model. Far from being an independent agency, USAID has long been intertwined with U.S. intelligence operations, serving as a front for covert actions designed to destabilize or control foreign governments. Historical accounts reveal USAID's presence in coup plots, regime changes, and clandestine activities that align perfectly with Machiavellian statecraft. The idea that USAID is linked to the CIA is not merely speculation but a well-documented fact. Throughout the Cold War and beyond, the agency has been accused of funding opposition groups, bankrolling propaganda efforts, and facilitating espionage under the pretense of aid. In Machiavelli's world, where power is the ultimate goal, these tactics are not only necessary but commendable. The end, maintaining control and eliminating threats, justifies the means. The Clinton Foundation, a case study in exploitation. Perhaps no modern example better illustrates USAID's dubious role than its connection to the Clinton Foundation. Once bankrupt, the Clintons have emerged as billionaires, with their foundation functioning as a tax-free vehicle for amassing wealth and influence. When dissecting such operations through a Machiavellian lens, one finds an intricate web of financial maneuvering designed to extract maximum benefit from the illusion of charity. USAID's funding patterns raise legitimate concerns about its true purpose. Millions in aid money have been funneled into programs linked to the Clinton Foundation, creating a situation where the lines between humanitarian efforts and political profiteering blur. The funds, ostensibly meant for disaster relief and development, instead become currency in the game of power, exchanged for loyalty, leverage, and personal enrichment. Machiavelli would recognize this as a masterstroke of political cunning. By positioning oneself as a humanitarian leader while quietly amassing vast resources, the Clintons, and others like them, ensure their dominance in both domestic and international politics. This is not theft in the crude sense, but rather the art of manipulation perfected, using moral legitimacy as a shield while accumulating power behind the scenes. Following the money, the ultimate political strategy. To understand the true nature of USAID, one must follow the money. Who benefits from these billions in foreign aid? Who controls its distribution? Where does the funding ultimately land? These are the questions that reveal the agency's true purpose. For Machiavelli, the accumulation and control of wealth are paramount to sustaining power. USAID, as it currently functions, does not simply provide aid. It redirects resources in a way that ensures continued dominance by a select few. The billions lost in bureaucratic black holes and non-transparent programs do not disappear. They reappear in the accounts of political dynasties, NGOs acting as financial fronts, and private entities with close government ties. Conclusion: the necessity of deception. Machiavelli would neither condemn nor praise USAID's operations. He would merely recognize them as a necessary function of statecraft. Deception, after all, is an essential tool for those in power. The great rulers of history have understood that controlling wealth, information, and perception is key to maintaining dominance. USAID, whether viewed as a front for financial corruption or a strategic arm of intelligence, exemplifies this principle in action. For those willing to see beyond the surface, USAID is not a charity but a chess piece in a grander game. It is an instrument through which nations exert influence, elites amass wealth, and the illusion of goodwill conceals the reality of power. The Machiavellian question is not whether this deception is moral, but whether it is effective and, judging by the continued expansion of American influence and the prosperity of its political elites, the answer is clear.